What's up, Mall Railroaders? It's your boy Tanker26. It's been a while since I've done a model train video on my channel, but on request by someone and some other subscriber. I've forgotten who it was, but if you see this video and you go back, you'll know who you are. So thanks for the suggestion, and yeah, it's I'm gonna be doing basically a overview of my model train collection as it stands right now, and also just a little tour of my whole entire layout and setup. As is, I am as of today, it is actually my birthday. I am turning 20, May 27th, the day that I'm recording this, and probably the day that it'll go up. So yeah, just I think a little birthday special video, I suppose. So without further ado, let's get into this. So, I want to start off by this dresser. Okay, now this dresser I got from work because it was just sitting outside in a outside of a dumpster. You know, free sign. You know, you can take it, whatever. And I never had a bedside table. So thanks to this dresser, I actually have significantly more storage for some of the trains. By the way, shout out to little King Wasabi. Yeah, gave you a nice surprise, and it was nice seeing you again at the train show on Saturday. But I told him that I've got a serious amount of rolling stock. And I did also buy things at the train show too, which I will be including in this video. So looking forward to that. But yeah, it was just nice to see you again, man. But I just this morning counted every single piece of rolling stock, including I've got a Markland loop of track with one locomotive and a bunch of cars. I have a total of 173 cars. That includes freight cars, cabooses, maintenance of way, coaches, and the Markland cars. That's ridiculous. So I've got a serious amount of cars, and I've got a total of 21 locomotives. Now, this is the vast majority of them that I can now display on the top of this dresser, thank God, and not have to store them on the layout, which is not very convenient. So back here, the DC locomotive lot, and up front here, the DCC or DCC and sound equipment locomotives. Going back to another video, I did mention in a previous video that I'm selling some of these. Yeah, no. I changed my mind. So the video will probably be taken down after I put this one up. But I mean, I'll sell these on like personal request to some friends. But like, if anybody like who lives afar or abroad, sees the video and wants to buy them, yeah, it's a bit of a hassle for me. And plus, some of these trains, like, for instance, this BL2 and the two trolleys right here, those actually have personal value because these actually previously were my grandpa's. So I'm not selling those no matter what. But I believe it was this GP9, the AEM7, the SD40... I think, because it's a passenger variant. It's Baltimore and Ohio, so it's still the C15, C415 center cab, and possibly Heisler, Shea, or the ZD40 right here, an SP. So I'm not going to sell those. Moving on to my DCC and sound DCC or DCC and sound equipped, I should say, because I still have a couple of locomotives that are just DCC equipped and not DCC and sound equipped, although the vast majority of them are DCC and sound equipped. So my Great Northern GP30 right here, that's just DCC equipped. It's by Bachmann. Right next to it is my 2662T logging mallet from Manitoba. DCC and sound equipped. My Allegheny by River Rossi. This was DCC ready, but I DCC and sound equipped it with a Digitrax decoder. It actually works fine now. After I realized, or after I found out that one of the wires to the decoder actually snapped, so there was a loose connection there, so hence why it wasn't working properly. Right next to it is the Bachmann DCC and sound value DDA 40X Centennial. DCC and sound equipped, obviously. This Cotton Belt RS3 right here is actually a Athearn Blue Box locomotive. It's DCC and sound equipped. Sorry, DCC and sound. It's not DCC and sound, it's just DCC. But inside it is like a dinosaur type decoder, so I don't want to mess with it. Right over here is my Broadway Limited Imports AC5 Southern Pacific cab forward. Probably one of my personal favorite locomotives. I do want to get an AC12 one of these days. Hopefully, I at least want an AC12, if not possibly the AC12 and the road number of the only surviving one, which is 4294. Moving on, I also have a Broadway Limited 282 Mikado for the Milwaukee Road. Right next to it is a DCC and sound equipped Bachmann 210 Russian Decapod for the Western Maryland. Bachmann DCC and sound equipped. The Mikado, by the way, is also DCC and sound equipped. Broadway Limited. It's Paragon 2, I believe. And then right here is my SP GEU 50 Athearn Genesis DCC and sound equipped. So yeah, I got a fair few DCC and sound equipped locomotives. I do like them, and I will buy them whenever I can afford to. Right here, because of the drawers, I can store extra track, 2 old Bachmann controllers, an old Atlas peer track set for like bridges, and then I can store my tools right here in this top drawer, and then the other 3 drawers, yeah, they're just used to store extra rolling stock. I got a couple of UP coaches. I've got a Santa Fe observation, track cleaning caboose, 2 bobbers, flat cars, box cars, you name it, in the first drawer. Second drawer, I've got my Baltimore and Ohio 86-foot box car. This is probably the biggest single piece of rolling stock I've got. Not too surprising. And a whole bunch of other cars stored in there. You can kind of see. Take the box car out of the way because it's covering some of them. None of these I bought at the show yet. They're all lined up in a single train, ready to show later on once I get to the actual layout itself. U.S. Old Swiss Army padlock that I got from the Stockton Railfest Cal Fence, if you know those groups. And then in the final drawer here is where I'm currently storing my line of SP coaches, my rotary. I have an Alaskan caboose that I got from a friend of mine. And there's one of the most recent additions. So I got a set of 5 articulated SP container well cars, 48-footers. I do have a couple of other things that I recently bought, and I will point those out when I get to the layout. Okay, yeah, as you can see underneath the layout itself, by the way, that's the layout, the table. A bunch of boxes, bags, extra boxes full of extra track and packaging from eBay items. I tend to keep the packaging because it's just available storage for them, especially when I have to move them around or transport them in any way, shape, or form, or sell them off. Right over here is my set of 8 ex-Pennsylvania, because the previous owner re-lettered them from the Pennsylvania to Texas Gulf and Western, and I have to admit the nephew who was selling this, these are old Concours coaches, as you can tell by the box. Yeah, he didn't really know that much about. I could easily tell he didn't know that much about trains. So he ended up selling these for a seriously cheap price. Metal wheels, knuckle couplers, all in good running order, non-weighted, like $30. Seriously. You could have easily gone. I could have easily bought these for like $100, and I'd be fine with it. So I kind of like, yeah. Anyways, moving on. So I recently got a oh yeah, just more HO scale cars. But my layout is interesting because it's got a second level. This loop is actually the second level, and this is actually the Markland train that I'm using right now. So these two wooden bridges, I actually custom made those in a woodshop class back in high school, a couple of years back. Extra snap track stored there. I've got a light up Bachmann station, as you can see right there, little red building. And then if you look, there's all the Markland cars. I'll get to those more specifically when I go down the layouts. So I can't fit the whole entire layout because, note, this is a 4x13 foot layout. I've measured this. So, and I know a lot of my friends call me priv for that, but you know what? They're not wrong. But, yeah. So there she is. That's the whole layout in its entirety. And straight off the bat, here's probably the most expensive locomotive I've got. Which, it's not a single locomotive, it's a pair, but you know what? It's still the most expensive locomotives that I've gotten so far. It's a pair set of Baldwin Centipedes in the demo paint scheme. They're hauling behind them, I believe, a 20-car coal train. So that's just the advantage of having a large layout like mine, is that you can run seriously long trains like such, and it'd be just fine. Log cars. I've got a couple of Tyco sets. Yeah, that's one of the operating sets. Basically, push the button, have the car in position, and I can automatically offload the cars. All the little wooden logs onto a little pile right here. Right down here, briefly, is the little wood bench. Yep, there's the Markland switcher right there. This is sort of like a little workbench where I fix any of my engines. That was my previous nightstand, but it just wasn't practical. You know what? Because I'm here, I might as well point out, this is one of the things that I bought at the show. It may be like it may look like just a shack with a circuit board, but the significance behind this, okay, is the fact that this is actually a speaker. And, well, what it speakers, or what it sounds, is the sound of electric crossing bells. For the moment, you basically press this button, and it will sound off. I do plan on adding it to, like, a crossing, so I'm going to probably get a Bachmann Easy Track crossing. I looked them up, and stick this somewhere next to the crossing, and then whenever a train goes by, I just press the button or something like that. I haven't figured it out because I just recently bought this, but I did buy this at the show. It was $20, and honestly, it sounds pretty good. So I'm gonna shut my mouth and just have you listen for a little bit. Oh, that did not sound good. Yeah. So as you can see, it's a nice little addition. $20, bruh, I'll take it. So here is the controllers. I've got the Bachmann Easy command control because I have the Bachmann Easy set, hence why I have the FT here and one of the Jeeps back there. DCC, you know, regular old Bachmann controller. This twin DC controller I got free from someone, from one of the Calrail fans at Stockton Railfest. So again, that was pretty cool. And then probably my best DCC controller I've got is the Digitrax Zephyr. And also I have another Bachmann controller which has an accessory set which actually controls some of these Bachmann easy electric switches. And also in terms of electrics, I also have electric signals that light up. Unfortunately, yeah, I've got this searchlight, one other searchlight. Signal bridge. Okay, so this signal bridge I got for $5, and I also got this at the show. Yeah, $5. Good thing I did get it for $5 because as soon as I applied track power, I tested it just before recording this. Poof, poof, poof. 3 out of 4 of these LEDs just immediately burn out as soon as I apply track power. So, yeah, rip me. And then I got 2 other signals right there. One's a G-style, one's a twin head. I have no idea what the fuck it is. They both light up. Of course, they too have burnt out bulbs. Some of my locomotives here. Yes, you're not mistaken. That is a yes, 44 Gevo in blue and yellow Santa Fe. I know it's a fantasy, but I like it. This being Triclops, I like it. I like the Triclops. My 260 Rio Grande steam locomotive. This is the steam locomotive that I first bought in HO scale, where from this set grew into this. So it's the engine and the set that it came in that started it all. So I got 2 GP40s right here. One's DCC and sound equipped. The other one's DCC. I paired them together so they run as a consist. Beautiful stuff. Right here on this snap track right here that is connected to this Bachmann switch right here is actually part of the Tyco unloading hopper set. I don't have the DT and I hopper, the gray hopper that you see on the train here, the Virginian. That's the other hopper that I got. I got it individually. So I bought the rest of the set without the hopper on eBay. It was only like $10, which is great. Empty trailer car. This is like I bought this with this one, the Chicago Western one. That was in a bundle at an estate sale. I got the whole entire thing for like $20. So I really am, which are really nice steal. So one of the recent things that I got, so besides the SP well cards, which I did mention earlier, I've also got these 2 well cars right here. One's metal, which I believe is this one, with the trailer hitches, and the other one's plastic, you know, both Athearn ones, I believe so. And then the, yeah, I got AH&M's Mighty operating crane, Sealands, the container crane. Here's the 2 containers that came with it. These 3 containers came with the container cars when I bought them. 3 little trucks, which actually go to which are applied to these trailers on this on these flat cars, and then this crane with this depot and the EP trailers. That was another set I recently got. Again, really good prices for the really good items. We got 2 New Orleans Public Belt Railroad Bosch high top 50-footers, Burlington Northern, Milwaukee Road. This is the 3rd Tyco electric operating, the other operating set that I have, and it's the unloading depot. Unfortunately, I bought this as a sale for $30. Absolute fucking ripoff. It doesn't work. That's not the actual car or the load. None of that came with the set. It was just the building, the figures, and the ramp, and that's it. So I really kind of overpaid on that one, and I really just shouldn't have bought it. And what makes it even worse is that the woman actually denied the fact that, like, it wasn't in bad condition and that I should still pay like $30. I only paid, well, I paid $30, but I could have paid up to like $40, which is absolutely fucking ridiculous. So yeah, that was a bit of a rip me. So the gauge track I've got has got 22-inch right here on the outer loop, and then 18-inch on the medium loop. The reason why that one, I think that is actually slightly narrower than 18-inch, maybe, just. Extra terminal track, I just have that stored right here. So these 2 signals right here, these 2 semaphore signals actually are electrical ones that work. I just haven't been able to figure out how to wire them yet. So if you have if anybody has any idea how to wire these things, please let me know, because, you know, since given how bad luck I've been getting with all my other signals, that they keep burning out their bulbs as soon as I apply track power. Well, it's absolutely freaking ridiculous. In the back here, I store some more cars right here. Extra cars, track, and a couple of other things. Yes, I do have a drawbridge that does lift up and it does connect, which is also cool. I think I got that for $10 at an estate sale, so that was great. I do plan on, like, basically doing more scenery type stuff, hence why I'm trying to keep the layout clear of storing cars and engines. Yeah, so as you can see, because there's so many wires and because I'm trying to get into a lot of electrical things, look, you can see it's just an absolute mess of wires underneath the table. Yeah, so another thing, I have these two crossing gates right here. They both light up, and that is a speaker that actually puts out bell sounds. But because it's an old HAHM, it sounds to be honest. Like, it doesn't sound great. Right below here, briefly, look, the little Bachmann station, and then also some of the Marklin cars that I have. The only reason why I'm not running this at the moment is because the engine's just having some running issues. So that's out of service at the moment. But that's the Marklin cars that I've got. I don't plan on expanding that anytime soon, if ever. So, because my main focus is, as you can see, all the way up here. Now, I am going to put the camera right here. It's gonna sound, I mean, obviously it's gonna sound weird, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna activate the crossing, and have my ST40R SP experimental paint scheme take this, be pulling all the new cars that I bought. So, never mind. I'm just going to use my other bell for that. So, my ST40R, which is currently pulling all the cars that I bought at the show. And, well, I bought a fair few cars. I'm going to use my new one, and I'm just going to ring the bell as they go by. And so that was all the cars that I bought at the show. Pretty nice selection, considering that most of these cars have metal wheels, nice knuckle couplers and all. It's pretty good price, considering I got all these cars for $5 a piece. So, overall, great time at the show. Nice seeing you again, King Wasabi. This is my layout tour and kind of birthday special video. So yeah, that's my layout as is. I will obviously be expanding it. Most likely I'm going to get more DCC and sound locomotives at this point. I think, like, this train show, I mostly get rolling stock just because I can get a lot of it for cheap. And pretty much, yeah, just keep filling up the layout and keep expanding it. Add more to my roster. So yeah, 21 locomotives and 173 rolling cars, and counting still. So, thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time, Model Railroaders. All aboard!